Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla once wandered the dead rails in search of limitless energy, believing he could harness the spirits trapped within the abandoned train line. Obsessed with merging science and the supernatural, he built a forbidden electric conductor deep beneath the tracks, hoping to power an eternal locomotive that would defy time. But during his final experiment, the surge of ghostly energy overloaded his body, tearing his soul from reality and binding it to the rails forever. Now he appears as a flickering, lightning-charged apparition, haunting broken stations and crackling through wires with whispers of unfinished inventions. When the lights suddenly surge and the tracks begin to hum as if awakening from the dead, it means Tesla is near, still trying to perfect his final creation. Zombie. This creature was once a regular traveler who boarded the final midnight train, unaware it was cursed to never reach its destination. When the locomotive derailed in a forbidden sector of the dead rails, every passenger perished, except this one, who rose again under the influence of dark energy buried beneath the tracks. His flesh is decayed, his movements jerky, but his purpose is eerily purposeful: to wander the rails in search of missing tickets, as if still bound by some twisted railway rule. Those who hear slow, dragging footsteps on the gravel should flee immediately, for the zombie hunts anyone who dares to walk the same cursed path he can never leave. Rumor says if you stare into his hollow eyes long enough, you'll see the moment he died replaying in an endless loop. Unicorn. Long ago, a brightly decorated carnival train used to pass through the dead rails, bringing joy and laughter to distant stations. Among its attractions was a mechanical unicorn powered by enchanted gears and children's wishes. But when the carnival mysteriously vanished during a foggy ride through the forbidden tunnels, the unicorn absorbed the grief, fear, and nightmares of the lost passengers. Now, twisted by sorrow, it roams the tracks as a spectral creature with cracked porcelain skin and glowing, hollow eyes. It lures wanderers with soft, chiming sounds and illusions of pastel lights, only to trap their minds in endless fantasies they can never escape. Those who follow the unicorn too long forget who they are, becoming part of its eternal dream, or nightmare. Captain Prescott. Captain Arthur Prescott was once a legendary railway commander known for navigating treacherous mountain tracks with unmatched precision. His train, the Silver Monarch, was famous for always arriving on time, even through deadly storms and pitch-black nights. Prescott believed the rails were alive, that every track had a spirit, and every journey was a conversation with fate. His crew laughed at his strange rituals, placing a gloved hand on the rail before departure, whispering to the engine like it was a living companion. One night, driven by pride and a mysterious voice echoing through an abandoned signal tower, Prescott attempted to break the railway's ultimate forbidden rule: to reach the mythical Terminal Zero, a rumored station hidden beyond reality. Ignoring warning lights and phantom signals, he forced the train into a sealed line that had been erased from all maps. As the locomotive picked up impossible speed, the steel groaned and twisted. The sky outside the windows shattered into black static, and the passengers screamed as they vanished into thin air, one by one. Werewolf. Tunnel 13 was sealed off decades ago after multiple night shift workers vanished without a trace, leaving only claw marks on the train cars and blood-soaked lanterns behind. Legends whisper that one of the railway guards, Elias Grant, vanished during a full moon while investigating strange noises within the tunnel. He returned, but not as a man. Twisted by a feral curse buried deep beneath the dead rails, Elias transformed into a monstrous werewolf, forever bound to the darkness he once protected. Now, the werewolf stalks the forgotten tunnels and overgrown platforms, hunting anyone foolish enough to enter after midnight. His growls echo through metal pipes, and his razor-sharp claws scrape against the tracks like a warning to leave, or die. Witnesses describe glowing yellow eyes emerging from pitch blackness before being chased by a shadow that moves faster than any train. When the moonlight sneaks through the cracks in Tunnel 13, a blood-curdling howl shakes the entire railway, signaling that the werewolf is on the hunt once more, and the only escape is never stepping onto the dead rails in the first place. Outlaws. The Outlaws were once a notorious gang of train bandits who terrorized the western sector of the dead rails, hijacking locomotives and robbing passengers with brutal precision. Their leader, known only as Black Jack Mercer, claimed no law could ever catch them, not even death itself. After one final heist on the heavily guarded Iron Stallion, the gang vanished into a dust storm near the abandoned canyon tracks, their train disappearing into thin air as if swallowed whole by the desert. But the legend didn't end there. Now, on moonless nights, a phantom locomotive known as the Rusted Express can be heard screeching across the dead rails, its whistle warped into a sinister howl. Shadowy figures armed with spectral revolvers stand atop the cars, their cloaks torn by an endless wind. These are the Outlaws, cursed to relive their final heist for eternity, hunting for new victims to replace the souls they lost. Travelers claim that if you hear the distant sound of spurs clinking on metal or bullets ricocheting against empty tracks, it means the Ghost Riders are circling. And if the Rusted Express ever slows down beside you, run. Easter Bunny. Long ago, a cheerful holiday-themed train called the Springlight Express traveled the rails, filled with pastel decorations, candy baskets, and costumed performers bringing joy to children across distant stations. Its star attraction was the Easter Bunny mascot, a man named Felix Hart, who loved making kids smile more than anything. But during one final spring ride, the train entered a fog-covered segment of the dead rails, and never arrived at its destination. When rescue teams found the wreck, the carriages were empty, the candy melted, and Felix's bunny costume lay perfectly upright in a passenger seat, still smiling, yet disturbingly hollow inside. Soon after, strange sightings began. Now, the Easter Bunny appears as a life-sized cracked porcelain rabbit suit with soulless black eye holes and a wide, stiff grin. It hops slowly along the tracks, leaving behind colorful eggs filled not with candy, but with whispers, screams, or visions of the missing children. Those unlucky enough to open one report hearing faint giggles followed by desperate pleas for help before vanishing themselves. VAMPIRE. Before the dead rails were abandoned, a luxurious first-class carriage known as the Crimson Car was reserved for wealthy elites who traveled only under the veil of night. Among them was a mysterious nobleman known as Lord Valerius, a pale aristocrat who never ate, never slept, and never spoke, yet passengers found themselves unnaturally drawn to him. Rumors spread that those who shared a ride in his carriage never returned at sunrise. One night, a conductor attempted to investigate after several passengers vanished mid-journey. When he opened the door to the Crimson Car, he found it deserted, the seats drenched in crimson stains, and a silver goblet still trembling as if recently dropped. Lord Valerius was never seen again, at least not in human form.